Okay, it's your girl Famously Nay. Make sure you follow me at Famously Nay, Famously underscore Nay. I don't know why I always forget to say the underscore, but Famously underscore Nay. Hit that like button. Follow my content. Just follow your girl, and definitely hit the like buttons on top of that. So today, you know what I was thinking? I watched the AFC podcast. Like I watched that. Like I like his content, you know. And when I seen this girl's face, the girl right here on the screen, her face. When I seen her face, I was basically like, she looks familiar. And you know what I was thinking whenever I like read into the story, I was thinking like, oh, you know what? That's why. And for those who don't know, she has a twin sister who had some prior engagements that would have caused for her to be on the AFC podcast. So that's where I think I seen her from, but don't quote me on that. I'm like not 100% sure. But anyway, we will get up into the story. This girl right here, her name is Shamila. I think her name is Shamila Hall, I believe. She was so the story went like this. I guess you had child youth services coming to her house. She must have been involved with them, and they had got like a word that she was with her kids unsupervised. Now, I know dealing with mental health. I know about dealing with mental health, and I know about dealing with child youth services. I've been dealing with mental health for years, and I know people that deal with child youth services. You know, so I mean, they're definitely two hard things to deal with. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that she has mental health, but her sister was. I don't know if she was acquitted on her charges or what, but I know she ended up going to the hospital. She ended up having mental health. So, but mind you, they were identical twins, so she may get the same. She may get the same treatment her sister did. You know, because mental health doesn't start off like all the time from when you're born. You know, like sometimes it can hit you later on in life. So maybe that's what happened with these two women. But remember everything that I'm saying is just basically my opinion. This is not factual, but what is fact is that the fact that she had 5 kids, a CYF worker did go to her house, and when she came to the house, she ended up stabbing her kids. She just started stabbing her kids. The two youngest ones, I'm not sure about their condition right now, but they were rushed to the hospital in critical condition. And I believe the 3 oldest passed away. But there's the news. They'll tell it here in the story. I just wanted to get you guys' opinion, and I wanted this to be a topic to talk about for today, especially with it being fresh news and all, you know. So I'm still gaining information up on it. And I'll definitely keep you guys updated too as well. So let's go ahead and with the story.
Hall, and she's in custody this morning, facing capital murder charges. Hall was booked in jail around 11 last night. Police say 2 of her other children were rushed to a hospital with stab wounds. Now, this all happened in the town of Italy, that's located off I-35, about 40 miles south of Dallas. As of now, we don't know what led up to this tragedy, but sources tell us Hall stabbed her children when a CPS worker arrived at the family home unannounced to check on everyone. We're told that CPS workers suspected Hall was having unsupervised visitation. The kids were living there under the supervision of another relative. Police tell us the worker called 911. All 3 of the children were elementary school aged. 2 more were taken to the hospital. We don't know the extent of their injuries right now. Now, as you can imagine, our crews on the scene tell us everyone there is very upset and they were shocked. A relative who babysat the kids spoke with us. She says she remembers holding the children as if it were yesterday.
And I just want everybody to know them are some beautiful angels. And I love them. And I know God never make no mistake. And I just want to say, they gained their wings. And this is something that hurts so bad.
CPS sent us this statement saying, "We are shocked by this incomprehensible tragedy and already working with law enforcement to investigate how this happened and why. We've also learned this morning Shamaya Hall has been arrested before. Sources tell WFAA senior crime reporter Rebecca Lopez she was arrested back in 2017 for stabbing her sister's boyfriend. Her twin sister was also arrested in 2021 and charged with stabbing her 7-year-old daughter to death. And new overnight, we are hearing for the first time from the Children's School District. The superintendent there says we are a tight-knit small community, and as such, many students will be impacted by this incident. She also says the district will have counselors available this morning at Stafford Elementary and all next week. This is a lot to take in and a major story you can imagine we will be following for several days.
Oh, man. That is a lot to take in. I mean, it definitely is. Where do we start? You know, the fact that she had a twin sister who did the same thing she basically did, and I'm so interested in to see how they're going to process this, how they're going, like what charges she's going to have, and if she'll have the same fate as her sister. You know what I mean? I'm being that they're identical twins. You get what I'm saying? Like their mind is somewhat similar, you know. But I honestly feel bad for the kids. My heart and prayers go out to the children, obviously. It's just a sad move, but we cannot hold her just accountable. Like she's definitely accountable for her actions, obviously, and I agree with everybody 100%. Like, you know what I mean? If she felt like she needed some help, she probably should have got some help. A family member should have told her to go get some help. Maybe she needed, you know, but I blame, in a sense, I blame her for sure, but I also blame CPS, Child Protective Services, or something like that. Pop-up notice could have became a call. You know what I mean? She probably needed to get mentally prepared for that. Like that is hard to deal with, you know. And being that she wasn't even supposed to be around her kids, it's like she probably had the feeling of them coming to take them. You know what I mean? And she probably had a sense of like, who could take care of them better than me? Like one of those type of moments, like, who could take care of them better than me? You're just going to take my kids away from me. These are mine. Like women become real territorial about their children, you know? And I can feel her on that one, but to kill them, no. I mean, like you could have went a better route about that. Like honestly, you really could have. Like if you really felt that deep and passionate about it, you could have put hands on the CPS worker. Like you could have, touched her. You just felt like that. I just feel like the kids really did not have a say. They didn't have a say. They didn't have an option. They didn't have an opinion. They didn't have a chance, you know? So that's definitely sad. They need to figure out better ways to go about just doing pop-ups because you heard something, you know what I mean? Or just taking kids away from their parents because of no reason. A lot of these, and I cannot say all, but I can say a lot of these CPS workers are just there for the check. They get up, they go to work, and they just show up for the check. You know what I mean? They don't care about the kids. They don't have the kids' best interest at heart. And I know this personally. You know, a lot of them just do what they want, make up their own rules, especially if they're not like engaged with the mother and they feel like they don't like the mother just personally. You know what I mean? They'll do some spiteful, hateful stuff and they take advantage of their authority. They do. They take advantage of their authority. That's what you call taking advantage of authority. So her and the CPS worker probably already was feuding, and as soon as she came, she probably just was like at her wit's end, you know what I mean? And just was like, I don't want nobody taking my babies away from me. I'd rather them not be here. That's probably what she was more than likely thinking, being territorial, because dealing with the state and the laws that they make. Had that CPS worker said the right thing, her children could have easily been escorted out the house right in front of her, and there was nothing that she could do. besides what that lady who does not like her on a personal level tells her to do. So the lady cannot like her. Like, she could be all that she could be. She could have been the best mom she could have been. But if the lady didn't like her on a personal level, she could have been like, go to drug and alcohol classes. She could have said, make sure you do your therapy. I want you to take some parenting classes. I want you to take some anger management classes. And if this is all not done because of this one lady that doesn't like her on a personal level, say, she will never get her kids back. That's why I say there needs to be more rules to this. Okay, if that lady goes and evaluate her and she has a personal opinion about the mother, somebody else needs to oversee her, and somebody else needs to oversee her before it goes to the judge. You know what I mean? You shouldn't just go off of one person's word, especially if it's a white lady. And I ain't gonna say it like that, but a lot of white people don't understand what Black women and mothers go through. Like, they don't. Like, I can't explain it to you. Like, they don't. Like, it's just, you know, if I get into that, it'll just be like a whole nother topic. But we're definitely not going to excuse Shamaya Hall's killing those kids. That's out the question. I feel like she could have handled the situation a lot better. I'm definitely interested in what her fate is and where it resides. And mentally, like, if anybody knows me, I've been in the mental health field for about going on 13 years now. And it really is a serious ordeal, you know? These people, they don't, like I said, they're not always born with it. Some of it could have came from like a disease. You know, some of it could have came from like just anything, a car accident. You know, you're not born with it. So if for you to have it, for you to just start having it and not have had it your whole life, you really don't know the signs to all the time to go get help. Like, you know, you're not knowing what's going on with you. You're just thinking everything's cool, everything's regular. But if the people around you, see, that's why you need family. Family needs to stick together. We need more love. The village, like, where was the village? You know, where was the kids' fathers? Like, were they involved? Because I know that's sad. It's just sad. You know what I mean? Picture you getting a call as a father, like, yeah, your kid is no longer alive because the mother decided to take him, like, kill him. Like, that's crazy. So where was the dads? Did the dads notice anything going on with the mom? Were they communicating as parents? You know, there was five kids. You know, actually, I'm going to take this back. We need to rehear this.
She's 25-year-old Shamaya Hall, and she's in custody this morning, facing capital murder charges. Hall was booked in jail around 11 last night. Police say 2 of her other children were rushed to a hospital with stab wounds. Now, this all happened in the town of Italy, that's located off I-35, about 40 miles south of Dallas. As of now, we don't know what led up to this tragedy, but sources tell us Hall stabbed her children when a CPS worker arrived at the family home unannounced to check on everyone. We're told that CPS worker suspected Hall was having unsupervised visitation. The kids were living there under the supervision of another relative. Police tell us the worker called 911.
And I'm not saying don't show up unannounced. I'm saying already have the cops on standby if you're going to do something like that. Have a partner with you. Evaluate the situation first. You know what I mean? Make sure somebody that shows up that she likes or that can understand her, especially when dealing with mental health, because obviously if they were involved, then they probably had a sense that she had some type of mental health. I think a lot of these caseworkers need to go through mental health training too. Like, it's not a joke.
911. All 3 of the children were elementary school aged. 2 more were taken to the hospital. We don't know the extent of their injuries right now. Now, as you can imagine, our crews on the scene tell us everyone there is very upset and they were shocked. A relative who babysat the kids spoke with us. She says she remembers holding the children as if it were yesterday.
See, my whole thing is, as a CPS worker, she knew that she had a sister that went to jail for killing her daughter. She knew that she was involved in the stabbing of her sister's boyfriend. These are things that you know. You get what I'm saying? You're not just getting engaged with somebody that you don't know or didn't do no background about. You know about the kids, you know about their dental records, you know about their shots, you know when their next appointments are. You're supposed to be all involved. You're supposed to know this woman's triggers. You're supposed to see if she's, like you said, she wasn't even supposed to be there. But knowing that she is there, you should have had the cops on standby. Maybe they could have hurried up and rushed in and tackled her down before she had the chance to even stab anybody. They said that the CPS worker heard everything. What was you doing? Just sitting there listening? I hope not. See, I couldn't.
And I just want everybody to know them are some beautiful angels. And I love them. And I know God never make no mistake. And I just want to say, they gained their wings. And this is something that hurts so bad.
CPS sent us this statement saying, "We are shocked by this incomprehensible tragedy and already working with law enforcement to investigate how this happened and why." We've also learned this morning Shamaya Hall has been arrested before. Sources tell WFAA senior crime reporter Rebecca Lopez she was arrested back in 2017 for stabbing her sister's boyfriend. Her twin sister was also arrested in 2021 and charged with stabbing her 7-year-old daughter to death. And new overnight, we are hearing for the first time from the Children's School District. The superintendent there says we are a tight-knit small community, and as such, many students will be impacted by this incident. She also says the district will have counselors available this morning at Stafford Elementary and all next week. This is a lot to take in and a major story you can imagine we will be following for several days.
I mean, like, it's just ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. I want to know how old her kids were. To my understanding, it was she had like a 14-month-old and another little young baby that wasn't in school. My computer seems like it's acting up. Hold on, y'all. Okay. So she had just 2 kids that weren't school age, and those were the only 2 kids that made it, to my understanding. Now, everybody's still gathering information up on this. Let me see something. Put you guys on a brief hold. See if I can pull anything up. It really is. It's ridiculous. Put down in the chats, put down in the comments how you guys feel. What do you guys think about this situation? Being that she had a twin that had prior engagements with killing her daughter, how do you think her fate's going to be? Like, what do you think the courts, because they have to take in mind that they are twins, you know what I mean? That's going to come up, obviously, that they are identical twins too. I'm so interested in wondering how her fate's going to be. Like, I don't know. I don't see nothing else right here. I'm looking for their ages. What's her name? Shamila Hall. Yeah. Oh, okay. Here we go. I might have found something, unless this is the same one. Now I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research on it, but you know what? I'll definitely do it whenever I'm not speaking with you guys. But honestly, I want to know what you guys think. How do you guys feel? Do you feel like the CPS worker was wrong? We already know Shamila was wrong. That's for sure. That was a fact. She was wrong. She's wrong, and she's wrong some more. But tell me what you think about the CPS worker. My heart goes out to the family. My heart goes out to the kids. Make sure you are careful with what you say in the comments, because the family does often read the comments, you know, especially when people do business like this. And remember, just stay safe. Stay safe with your family. Stay prayed up. Keep your keep your system together. And when I say system, I mean like your family system. You know what I mean? Like make sure you have people close enough around you to know that if you're depressed, that they notice. You know what I mean? Like, I mean your bridge. I just mean like just keep your loved ones prayed up, because the world we live in nowadays, I mean, it really is just like going to hell. I'll be the first to say it. The world we live in nowadays is definitely going to hell. You just never know what people might do, how they're going to react. So you just better be careful and stay prayed up. All right. Thank you for joining the Famously_Nay talk show. I love you guys, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and join me on all social medias. All right. Have a blessed